Welcome to the space where minds collide. Annie and Carrie gonna be your guide. Psychic wonders and spiritual delight will unveil the mysteries and the light. Tune your senses, sharpen your mind. Feel the energy, let your soul unwind. Tarot cards and angels' wings. Sound healing makes your spirit sing. Mind, body, soul connection strong. Find your peace where you belong. Meditate, elevate, discover ways to brighten up your darkest days. Energy flowing through your veins. Unlock your power, break the chains. With Annie and Carrie on this ride, discover the universe inside. Healing words in crystal glow, guiding through the ebb and flow. Feel the love that we impart. Awaken the magic in your heart. Mind, body, soul connection strong. Find your peace where you belong. Meditate, elevate, discover ways to brighten up your darkest days. Mind, body, soul connection strong. Find your peace where you belong. Meditate, elevate, discover ways to brighten up your darkest days.
Good timing, Carrie.
Just made it, and I think I spilled a bit of coffee on the way, but anyway, that's all right. Hello, everybody.
Hi, Sophia. I was looking at the screen and thinking, run, Carrie. Carrie had to run away because we got her coffee. And she said, "Oh, that's to the end." And I was looking at the screen and she wasn't there. And I was thinking, run, Forrest, run.
No, I left the door out to go and run. And then, of course, when I got back, I put the coffee down, realised Yusi's in the room. So then I'm trying to get Yusi out and shut the door. That's my crystal thieving cat. And if I was to leave him in the room whilst I'm in this chair, he'll jump on my bookshelf and he'll start creating mayhem, trying to steal crystals. That's what he does. Sophia, really glad to see you made it. And hopefully you got that extra link that I sent you.
Okay.
It's funny with the posts this week. When I actually scheduled this week, it didn't put the thumbnail onto the Facebook event. So I was trying to add it, and I think that's confused some links for some people. But anyway, we'll get there. What I might do is let you guys say hello, and I might just share out the live just in case people are looking for it like Sophia.
Okay, I can do that. So hello and welcome to Miss Lisa.
Hi.
How are you? It's so lovely to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's such a pleasure. I've known Lisa for quite some time, and we reconnected last Sunday. Is that right? Saturday or Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
Because Lisa came to my crystal wand making workshop out at Trevallen. And Lisa does some amazingly, spectacularly wonderful things. So I had to introduce her to Chelsea, who's the owner out at Trevallen. And I knew they were going to be new best friends. So I just introduced them and buggered off and left them to it.
Yeah, we've organised some good things to come.
Yep. Later on in the year, you'll be working out there.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. And I'm going to be coming.
Good.
There.
Yeah, I want everybody to come.
Well, yeah. It won't be probably until July.
Yeah,
Um,
we're looking at July.
yeah. So
Mm.
Lisa's going to be doing her bone readings out
Hmm.
at Trevallen. And she's also going to do one that I'm so excited about, which is the painting your spirit guide. So I'm going to be out there for that one as well. So all of you who are in Brisbane, keep an eye on the Trevallen Lifestyle Centre events page, and I'll have it on my page as well. And we'll all toddle along and have a play with Lisa. I'm very excited about this.
Yeah, yeah,
Very
and no,
excited.
you don't need any drawing experience. It's all it's all very easy, and it's lots of fun. It's lots of fun.
Yeah, we do our intuitive art, and it's like we tell the people that as well. If they're artists, we don't actually want them because
No,
they overthink things.
exactly. Yeah, this is like no, you don't need to be thinking about anything because it's connecting connecting with your guide, and you just let your guide appear on the paper. It just
Yeah,
happens. Hence, you don't need any
yeah,
drawing experience.
yep. It's just magic.
Yeah, it is. It is magic.
So, what Miss Lisa is going to be talking tonight is osteomancy. Did I say that right, Lisa?
Yes, that's correct. Yes, yep. Bone reading. And yeah, do you want me just to kick off and start talking about it, or?
Absolutely. It's something
Yeah.
so different.
It is very different. And so it's as old as time. It was used in everywhere. Every country has have practiced some form of reading bones. Sometimes it's osteomancy, sometimes it's scapulomancy, which is the polishing of the scapular bone, and then they would put it in fire, and it would crack, and then it would be red. So the very crux of it is the connection to the ancestors and asking for guidance. The bones, basically how it works is the person seeking information, so they're the seeker, and then the bones, which can be a collection of bones, shells, stones, crystals, any curious object that you have, feathers, and so they're the oracle, basically the antenna, and then I'm the seer. So it's basically just they're bringing through, through the bones and the marrow, connecting with death. They're very, they really embrace death and, and the ancestors, and acknowledge that intelligence and divine information continues on. So it's a good way to gain insight and clarity to aspects of your life that sometimes you don't even know not a problem, but that possibly are just a component that you're missing. And the ancestors are very good at giving very direct information. It's not, it can be quite confronting at times. Not in any. There's no fear or anything like that. They're just, very direct. They're not mucking around, and this is what they have to say. There's a big healing component with it too. That's what I've found, because sometimes the ancestors will come through and I think when that opens this pathway of communication, just the knowledge and the love that comes through, that just has this I don't know how it works. I wish I could explain it, but it just creates such a really quite profound and healing experience to the seeker. The process with the bones is really interesting. They you don't kind of, so your bones might come to you, and you might think, oh yes, I want this, want this bone to represent this and this to no, I've got no say in it. I just sit with the bones and I wait, and sometimes that's a day, a week, a month. I might carry them around and see what they bring through and what they would like, what part they'd like to play in the connection. In saying that, I have noticed that they're not rigid, so they're very fluid. They can change, so you can't be with a fixed idea of this bone means this, because it might just decide, well, yes, but I also want to represent and bring through another component. It may change altogether. There's a whole ceremony when you introduce the bones. It's not just a matter of collecting all these beautiful things. It's very ceremonial and the utmost respect. Always. It's very sacred work, and I suppose in that too, that's such a deep honouring of the ancestors too, and not necessarily just the ancestors of the seeker, but the ancestors of the animal. If I'm using animal bones or feathers or rock ancestors, the ancestors of the country that we're on. So there's a lot to it. There's always an opening ceremony and a closing ceremony before a reading. Welcoming in, elementals and obviously the ancestors and spirit and the directions. So it's a very ancient practice. I think the earliest recordings that I can find, and I'm sure there's earlier than this, but that dates back right to the Shang dynasty. They've found, they've found components, but I know that they've done that with other, they have found like Mongolia. Mongolian sets are amazing. They use a lot of protection tools. They make these little metal ornaments, which are just, when I get to Mongolia, I hopefully will sit with somebody there and then be able to acquire one or two pieces. That's the goal. That's the intention. And so the person I learnt through was taught by the Sagomas in Southern Africa. That's very rich, very deep there. Australian Aboriginals, they practice. It's very much law, and a lot of their sets are connected to ley lines,
Right.
and song lines, yeah, which is really interesting, and I love that component of it too. There is a practice with within theirs that if somebody's done wrong within the tribe or another tribe or whatever, there's a practice called pointing the bony finger. Yeah, and that's law. They call upon the ancestors then to take it on. Celtic traditions, Nordic, it just dates back in everywhere, and in slightly different forms. And not all readers practice the same way. There is a little, everybody kind of practices a little differently. So readings won't always be the same. If you were having a reading with me or having a reading with somebody, there could be variations, it's not kind of fixed. But always with the same principle, always with the same respect for the same principle. So, yeah.
It's really interesting, Lisa. Like, I'm very excited to have you on tonight. Like, this is an area, obviously, I've heard about, but I honestly know absolutely nothing about it. And I'm trying to think of some really good questions to ask you about it. What keeps coming to mind with it is how you mentioned before that some bones, like you might have a traditional meaning. So if I put it into other things that we read with, for example, tarot, a card may have a specific meaning, but when we read, we're actually reading the energy and some of the symbolism attached to that, because we're actually reading the energy that comes with the card, and depending on other cards around it as well, which does change the interpretation. What you seem to be explaining here with the bones is, yes, they may have an indicator meaning, but you actually have to sit with them. Is it like receiving intuition or direct messaging from it, or are you reading the energy of it?
So I believe what is happening is basically the bone and the marrow hold the story, and that story is then what comes through to me. So, they're the oracle, so the antenna, and then the information basically comes through that. It's always a surprise. I mean, you kind of, because you can have so many. I mean, you can have really big sets. You can have, not long ago, I got a set come through that is based on the chakra system and the Hara line. Like, I didn't even know what that just came. And then, they gave me all the colors and paint them up. And then there's like language written on there, symbols written on the bones. And they've just been kind of sitting. And my question has been, do you want to work with the original set that I have, or like, can I combine the two? And there's a bit of back and fro. So you really have, it's this ongoing conversation with them, as if, that as if you are conversing with the ancestors, and and obviously in spirit. So, I just like to be very sure when they say no, like it's a no. Okay, I'm not even going to try. That's fine. I put it away. I have literally containers and containers over bones. I've been collecting bones and feathers for probably, I don't know, most of my life, not knowing shells and rocks and all that sort of business, not really knowing why, just obsessed. And then when someone sent me through some training, I was like, this all makes sense now. It all makes sense why I have so many of anything, like especially bones. And I've just acquired a set of owl bones last year. And so they've just been out on the earth doing their thing, and slowly I can hear them calling, and I'll go out, and whatever's there that's been cleaned in a natural way, so by the ants and bugs and stuff like that, bring them in and then clean them up, and then I let them sit for a while, and then they'll call me as they start coming forward, and and what what they want to represent. I'm kind of just I'm just the seer. So,
Yeah.
And within that, I think I'm the observer and very much the listener. If anything, it's taught me really how to listen, completely take myself out of the picture other than just receiving information, which is, it's really cool. When, if you're, sometimes it can be silence, sometimes it can just be silence. And I don't know, I think for a while there, I'd get kind of agitated about that silence. But what I learned is that the messages come very quietly. It's not always going to be something loud.
It can be very subtle. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
I understand that, not from any work with bone casting or bone reading itself, but I love different rocks, right? Because I relate that to psychometry, and I actually hold them and read the energy from them that way. And yeah, I understand and totally can relate to what you're saying about that the energy imprints within them. So they're giving you the story of where they came from, where they were. So similar but different to what you're doing. Sophia, I don't know if you can see that question. Sophia was just asking, can a client bring their own bones to you or someone else for a reading?
Nope. No, unfortunately not. No, right. It doesn't work that way. So I think I said earlier, the bones have to go through their own ceremony to be introduced into a collection. And that's a process. That's a process. That's very sacred and really honouring their role, being the oracle. Really being the oracle. Yeah. No,
your bones will be attached to you. Does that make sense? That your bones, they're attached to you. You're putting your energy and your love and your care into them.
And respect.
They become
someone else's bones coming in. They wouldn't read for you because you haven't got that connection.
That's correct. You haven't. I mean, your bones become family. And that's how I treat mine. And, I will often have at times bones that, I take I'll take them if I'm going bushwalking or something like that. I might, it might be like they want to come. So I take them with me. And then I do find that information, when I sit with them maybe that day or a little later, then they'll start, giving me information or conversation. I probably should say not necessarily information, but conversation, because it is just a conversation. It is just a conversation. But very ancestral. And as I said, it's really embracing ancestors that have passed, ancestors that you don't know the names of or have never met, or it gives them a chance to speak and offer guidance. And I think that's just probably the coolest part of the whole thing, quite often they'll...
Like generational trauma?
I think that the way I feel about it is, our ancestors have there could be a component of that. And so maybe that's been, the seeker, the information they're wanting has been something that ancestor has also experienced, and how, I suppose, when you pass away and get the clarity, in when you do your life review, I would imagine that then you have this knowledge of, oh, well, yeah, I could. This is probably how I could have managed, or what advice I would give now in the now. So
Does the
yeah,
seeker come with a question, Lisa? Or is it just really, really fluid
um,
about it's what the bones
well,
want to tell you rather than what you
yeah,
want to know?
it's fluid. It's very fluid. So I cast and then read the patterns that they present when they're cast, and I'll be shown the patterns, but especially patterns that stand out. And then obviously I kind of shoot my questions as to, okay, sometimes it can start off a little clunky, and then it becomes very much a storytelling experience. So weaving through those patterns and creating a story to to bring some insight and clarity to sometimes bones or objects are left behind. Some will cast out and some will stay behind. So, then that's another whole representation for that. But yeah, that's normally how it is. They kind of do all the they do all the talking, and then I do allow, though, once we've kind of covered the patterns and I've let the ancestors speak and talk about what is standing out and needs to be brought to the surface. I always have, obviously, as an open comment with the seeker, and questions and any questions they have. I like to just kind of let the ancestors talk first and the bones do their thing first, and then have a bit of dialogue with the seeker after that. I do, with my readings, I do offer space at the end for anyone that has crossed over, like a loved one or anybody that wants to connect. And then I do that component of delivering the message that they'd like to deliver to the seeker. So yeah, it's, there's a lot of layers to it. Not always, but most of the time you will find, as soon as you open the door, of course, whoever's crossed over, definitely somebody wants to come through. So I just allow that space. Yeah, I do allow that space because, we are honouring them, and I feel that, there might be one that really wants, that really needs to say something or really wants to connect and have a bit of a conversation.
Mirani's asking if the bones have a certain frequency. So, like, would your owl bones be different from your bird bones or whatever?
Yep. I for me, the owl bones are they're really powerful. And I like last week when I started, because obviously I have the wings and then I have the bones from the body, and the head and the two claws, and then some longer bones came. Whew, and I was like, wow, that's the energy is next level. And I feel that set is going to be very much about shadow work. I feel that, and owls are very much about that. I do try to work with the spirit of the animal. For me, I find that comes out a lot, like to the directions. I mean, you're also working on directions too, to bring you information, but I do feel that the owl bones will definitely be a shadow set. So that'll be interesting how deep they take me first, and then we'll we'll work out what happens then. But
Like
you end
Lisa,
up with a lot of different sets.
sheep are pretty dumb. God love them, like, but they're pretty dumb. And owls are much higher on the food chain, if that's a way to describe it. So, would there be a huge difference between, maybe not the information, but the the frequency of owl bones compared to the frequency of like sheep bones? Would that, does that make sense, or am I off the
Yeah,
plant
it
here?
does. Yeah, it does make perfect sense. But no, I'm getting a no. No, they all have their value, and they all have an important message. You could have sheep bones that, and I mean, they use them in other countries for the scapulomancy. Yeah, ox, sheep, the larger animals, horses are used, and I think that you just honour the animal and allow it to bring through the messages. So I feel, although I get what you're saying, and on one sense I completely agree. The owls are well, they're so ingrained in folklore, and their intelligence and their ability to see in the night. So from that perspective, in a way, yes. But then again, it's like, well, all animals have something to bring to the table, and it would depend on what ancestors want, and because they're the oracle. So I'll have to think about that a little bit, because I don't want to feel like I'm discriminating and saying no, the sheep is possibly not. I think that they've all got a gift to give, and some may just be a little, maybe used in a set that's a little more gentle, and some may be in a set that goes a little more deeper. Like the owl might just go really deep, and the sheep might kind of be in in a basic set sort of thing. It's hard to know. Who knows? I might get a couple of sheep bones come my way, and we'll soon find out.
I was going to stand up for the sheep, Annie. They're not dumb.
Yeah, they're not dumb, no.
They have a different perspective, and they work very much with the collective group.
I was just going to say that they work with the
collective. Lisa, I'm going to add your picture to the stage.
Sure.
What's that?
Okay, so this was gifted to me by a friend of mine. It's one of her steers. It was her pet, and sadly he passed away from a snake bite, and she gifted him to me, and I was going to paint him, but then was like, no. So I started doing I do a little bit of morning altars. I don't know if anybody's familiar with the work, but it's basically picking flowers or anything from nature, and doing a mandala or something like that, and creating that, and then understanding the impermanence of life and change. And the flowers will die because you've taken them off off the plant, or whatever it is, or the wind might come and blow them away. It's not going to last forever. So it's very much teaching about life and death, and the ever-changing cycles of it. So yes, that was I grow blue butterfly pea, and I've actually been sitting with the that plant for the last, I don't know, 7 months, 8 months, drinking the tea and going on just a whole amazing journey with the information from that plant and the flower itself when it's dried in the tea has a lot of health benefits, but the reason I've been exploring it is dream states. I'm a big dreamer. I dream a lot. I have very, very vivid dreams and lucid dreaming. So I've kind of been experimenting a little bit with the blue butterfly pea and also with mugwort and a bit of chamomile. But just seeing where that, where I go with all of it. But a friend put me on to the plant. She said, this is definitely a plant that's calling you, and it certainly did call me loud and clear. And I have a nursery full of crazy. I've got so flowers, just dried flowers. That's all I've been doing. All I've been doing for the last 6 months, and I've loved it. It's been amazing. It's been an amazing
That's very
journey.
beautiful.
It is beautiful, isn't
Very
it? Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. I sat with that and I actually drummed. I just had a morning and I was doing a little bit of drumming in the greenhouse, and I did quite a few little altar type things with the skull, and then I took it outside and kind of sat with it a little bit out there. But it was a really lovely experience. I'd like to say I wasted. It wasn't wasted time, but I think I was mucking around for 2-3 hours. So it was really enjoyable. It was really nice.
It's very beautiful.
Mm.
Now, Mirani has, I'll take it away. Mirani has said some Aboriginal elders have their sacred poems passed on through generations with their history and their stories.
That's correct. Yeah, that's correct. It is with First Nations very common to hand them down through generations. They're taught and then the bones are passed down. And everything, obviously, it's such a ceremonial practice. Everything is just ceremony. But yeah, wouldn't that be great? I'd love to hand mine down. I don't know what they'll think Hunter will do with all of mine when my time comes. He'll be like, "Oh my gosh, Mum, what am I doing with all this stuff?" But who knows? Who knows? Maybe by the time that happens, somebody will have come along.
They may be called to it by then. You don't know.
No, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Who will know? But or somebody that I meet along the way when I get old might say, "Oh, bone reading," and we can go down that road. But yeah, who knows? Or they can just come with me. If I'm going to get cremated, I may as well take all the bones with me.
Yeah, I think a lot of this is based on, like the Red Indians have bone ceremonies. There's a lot of the ancient native tribe. That's where it came from. Like it's an ancient practice. And I think for some, this stuff really fascinates me because the ribbon reading by the Romanies and and the bone reading and all these practices, they were kind of it was like it was a secret. It was sacred. And if you had ribbons with you or if you had your bones with you, they were precious. But they weren't anything that could be pointed at so that you could get burnt at the bloody stake for being a witchy woman or whatever, And a lot of them did that, used that, even with the cartomancy, with the brain clouds. It's all very sort of normal objects that can be turned into sacred objects depending on how they're treated.
Yeah. But I think, and too, I think when you go back even further than that, I suppose with like First Nation and that type of thing, you know, they very much, you know, that's who they would ask. They would go to the, you know, a medicine man, a shaman, whoever was keeper of the bones, you know, find hunting. What was the weather doing? How are we going to resolve conflict if there was conflict? And I think in First Nation, that so it was, it just was, and I think probably that's why those cultures have still held on to it through all this time. But you know, the Celts and the Romanis, like I could imagine that would have been the principle too, something that could have been hidden, and you know, not sort of taken like it was witchcraft or anything like that.
A lot of the Celts use hagstones.
Oh, look, I've been praying for a hagstone. I can't tell you. Every time I go to the beach, I'm like, send me a hagstone. And I haven't got the stone with me.
One may not be on tonight. Was it Ray or Shelley? If you're still here, you might know. Someone, or if Gail's on, someone found a hagstone.
You can pick them up at the beaches over in Scotland.
Yeah, at one of the beaches, and there was a group of them together.
Yes,
yeah,
I need to go to Scotland. Well, I went I was at the beach at Burleigh Heads, and I said, Spirit, send me a hagstone. I really would love a hagstone for my collection. And I'm just about to leave the beach, and I'm like, what is that rock? And I pick up, and it's a nearly a heart shape, but it's a rock with complete divoted, like as if somebody's got their thumb and pressed into it. It's then none of the holes are fully through. And I'm like, how did that even happen? How did that even happen? It's the most incredible rock I've ever found, but not a hagstone. But I was happy with it. I was like, oh no, you're hundreds of years old. Whatever's happened to you is amazing.
Shelley's got dozens of them.
Shelley, did you get them all on your overseas trip? Is that where you found them all, lovely?
Yeah, did you bring home a suitcase full of stones?
That's what I'm wondering. Because each one of those, even holding on to them, even you can use them obviously for seeing, but even holding on to them through psychometry connection or energy reading, like the osteomancy, that would be really interesting. Magnetic Island here in Australia. There, Lisa.
We need to have a road trip, guys.
Wow. I might have to get to Magnetic Island.
Yeah. I knew that there was a story about this because I was thinking, wow, that's so awesome.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. I definitely need a hagstone, and from Magnetic Island, that would be incredible. That would be incredible.
Would be incredible from Scotland as well, though.
Yes.
Beaches, like here, the beaches are mostly sandy. In Scotland, the beaches are mostly stony. There's not so much sand over there. So, like everywhere you look, there's going to be bloody hagstones. So we might need to do a road trip to Maggie and a flight trip to Scotland on a hagstone hunt.
Yeah, we might just have to do that
with a big suitcase.
Divination rods to take us to the right spots. It'll work.
Yeah.
It'll work. It'll work.
Yeah, and I've been playing with divination rods a bit. I've got a bit of I don't know what it is, but I just have a bit of a radar for rocks, bones, just any of that stuff. I just find it. It just it finds me. I don't find it. But I have been playing with the divining rods a little bit. More so for the ley lines, and interesting to see what objects I find, when I find the ley line, what objects are close to that, or all that sort of stuff. Yeah, you can go pretty deep with it, I think.
Yeah.
It's all really interesting.
Mirani's going over there in July.
Oh,
Okay, lady,
yes.
you've got a mission
Yeah.
to bring us back a suitcase full of
Absolutely, you do. Dum, 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 dum. I'm playing Mission Impossible for you, Mirani.
Lisa, how long does the reading take?
About 40 minutes to an hour. But in saying that, that's what I say, but quite often find it goes for a little longer than that.
Depending on how chatty they are.
Yes, and then how much to after kind of after the reading, and you sit and have a chat, and it'll often bring up things, and I like to have a discussion about. I just don't want to be delivering the information, and then because some of it is sensitive, and I like to kind of have a bit of a chat about that, because it is about connection, and it is about being heard. So I think that's really important, that that there's a good conversation at the end of it, just to make sure that everything's okay, because I don't want anybody leaving feeling overwhelmed, or
Yeah, that's what it does. I won't let
yeah.
anybody like, I've sat with people for ages till I've got them back to a space where I'm okay. Because a lot of the people that come, especially to you, they've got to
Yeah.
get in a car, and I want them settled and sorted. I'll make them a cup
Yeah.
of tea if I have to get them settled
Yeah.
and sorted. So
Yeah.
if there's
Yeah.
been tears, or if there's been whatever has happened, it's so important to get people back to some kind of level before you just, I can't. For me, the reading lasts as long as it takes sometimes.
That's pretty much how I feel about it too.
Yeah.
And I think I was saying this to you last weekend. I've noticed the last couple of months, the readings that I'm doing, often people will send me a text or call me later that day or the next day and say, "Oh, I went home and slept for a few hours after that." Yeah, good. That's
Just
awesome.
to resonate and absorb the information and the energy that's come through. Yeah. Is it
Yeah,
always done face to face, Lisa? Or can you also do this remotely for people?
look, I can do it. Well, the plan is to do it remotely as well. I just haven't got, we've got tech issues, etc., that we need to address this year, and get the camera. I have done one or two remotely, and I don't know. I like it in person better.
Me too.
That's just how I feel about it. It really is. There's no difference. It's just that I like to really be, for the person to be in that sitting in that energy. Although they're receiving it, I think it just, for me,
More powerful
it
when
just
you're in
feels a little
proximity
different. I
to
think
the people.
yeah. But as I said, I've got to get onto the tech thing, and the year's just going so quickly. But it is something that that I am looking into, to deliver that. If people want that. But I do find that I just get a better. A couple of people I've done a distance, online reading, and then an in-person reading, and they've kind of said, "Oh, I enjoyed the in-person reading like heaps more." So, I just roll with it. I do like doing it in person.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
do I. I'll do it
Yeah.
online, but I much prefer to have the person sat beside me.
Sitting in front of you.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
It's that
exactly.
connection though, Lisa. It's like, if I've got somebody, like I read for people up in the Whit Sundays and Early and Weepa and all these places. And
Mm,
if I've upset somebody or they've been upset by what has come through, I want to be there. I don't want to leave them crying on a bloody screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
your readings are incredibly emotional, and I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
it might raise, you know, some like
Yeah, it
I'm
can.
sure there'll be a release. There'll be a
Mm,
release or a relief, or maybe they'll need
mm,
to have a little cry. And
Yeah.
if
yeah.
that's happening, I just like people to be sitting in that, but sitting in
Mm,
that beside me so that I can be
yeah.
there for them, hold
Yeah.
space, and just let them settle again. You know,
Hmm.
because like once they've had their little cry, they're usually they feel a whole lot better. And both
Yeah.
of
Mm,
all of our spaces are safe spaces for people to
mm.
just let it go. You know, like
I
even
agree.
last week when we did that that wand making,
Yeah.
there was a lot of support. Um, there was tears and there was a lot of support. And when you've got that, I just feel that it makes the person feel like there's love around them and they're cared about. And in that moment, there's support and they can cry. And it's okay because maybe at home they can't cry or at work they can't cry, but in a safe space like Lisa and mine and
Yeah.
Terry's, they can let go. And that I think that's one
Yeah.
of the gifts that we actually give people.
Yeah.
We
It's just
provide
to hold space for
yeah,
them while
yeah,
they work through that moment
Definitely.
and
yeah,
reconnect with the information or the connection that they've just received. Yeah,
yeah. I think
absolutely.
that's really important.
Mm.
Hmm.
It's not just wham
Yeah, I
bam
think
off you
so.
go, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Mm.
so. And I think, I think technology is fantastic, and but I think like I don't know, I just like that in-person connection that
Yeah,
in the same. I don't know how to explain it. As I said, technology is great, and it makes no difference to the reading. I just personally like to be
yeah,
Mm.
in the same, sitting face to face or whatever, physically,
Mm.
yeah. Me
rather
too.
than through a screen. Yeah, that's the way I like to do it. But um, yeah.
Lisa, you said you've got a course coming up soon. Do you want to share some details if anyone's interested in that?
Yeah, sure. So it's a spirit drawing class, and you will draw and meet your spirit guide. It's a process, and it goes through the day, so maybe like 9 till 4, and we do a little bit of meditating, connecting with the guide, and then seeing who appears on the paper. And then, obviously messages, but I like to kind of leave the information, do a few, like a bit of questioning, and, really try to get people out of the head and into the intuition and their heart,
Mhm.
uh, and continue after, hang the picture somewhere, and then just let it to start slowly, like, have a bit of a conversation with it, and see what starts to come through, from, just from this picture, because I know the spirit drawings that I do for clients will always present with information, but that's ever evolving information. Um, so, although the message in the direct delivery is whatever it is, but then, when you hang it, other stuff might start coming through, like the bone, like another, it's just a
Mhm.
conversation. Much like the bones, it's just this conversation. So yeah, it's all done in soft pastel, so it's an easy medium to work with, and it's fun. It's very tactile, using your fingers and whatever else. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That'll be good. That'll be good.
That
I've been
sounds
wanting
like so much fun. So much
Yeah.
fun. I mean, I can't draw at all, mind
Oh,
you. I
you don't
can't
have
draw.
to. Yeah.
But yeah, just that spiritual drawing to do
Yeah.
that connection just sounds like so much fun. Where
Yeah.
was that being held? I don't want to say the wrong place.
Trevallen Lifestyle Centre in Ferndale Road in Brassel. And it won't be till July-ish.
Yeah. I'll have to talk to Chelsea.
Yeah, get
Chelsea
some
about that.
dates.
Yeah. Get some
So
dates happening.
I'll put it on my Celtic Tarot page.
Yeah,
And
that'd be
Chelsea will
great.
have it in Trevallen.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like I'll be banging
Share
my
that.
drum about
That would
it,
be
telling everybody in the universe.
yeah.
It should be fun. I'd like to do that one, and then I'd love to do a spirit, like connecting with like a power animal, spirit animal. I'd love to do that too. Yeah, I'd love to do that one too. I don't know quite how that one's going to work out. I have to do a little bit of I'll have to do a little bit of work on that. But definitely we'll start with the spirit guide, but definitely I want to do the animal one is a big yes. I just have to do a little bit of work around that one.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. I know. That was so much fun. Annie was telling me about it, Lisa, and I went, we got to go. And she said, that's what I said. So we're going.
Well, we've got Gail, Sophia, AJ, Mirani. There's a whole lot of people here that are from Brisbane and surround.
Yep.
So you're not going to have any trouble filling your classmatey.
No, look, it's so exciting. It'll be fantastic. I've been wanting to do it for a long time. And I think when I went last weekend to Trevallen, like that was just perfect. The energy in that place is perfect. It was just like this massive yes. Like for the readings, doing readings from there, and then the workshops, it just fit the bill.
I love working out there.
Yep. Yeah. I've been looking for somewhere.
Like while I was there, the first time I was there was this lady came to see me, and she had been wandering. And of course, I had gone overtime, which is just normal, no sense of time, and I don't have a clock. But when she came in, I said to her, "I'm really sorry," and she said, "No, don't be sorry." She said, "I come here a lot." She said, "I have sad days, and when I have a sad day, I just bring my book." And this little, it's a huge garden area, and she's got little benches and little tables, and there's little like nooks and little corners where you could just sit down with a book, and you're surrounded by the most beautiful plants. It's where I got my dragon, and it's for me when she said I come here when I'm sad, and I thought it's a really good place to sit when you're sad, because in the middle of bloody Ipswich, it's this little island of solitude and solace, isn't it, Lisa? I mean, it's just the most glorious space.
It's magical. It's absolutely magical. All those little pockets. I was like, and all the fairies, lots of fairies. So I loved that. Yes, that too. I bought it. I
haven't been there, so I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah.
What did you buy, Lisa?
I bought a crow. So that little that was sitting actually on the table when
watching,
and when we were having all the conversation, and I thought, I'm going to take you home. So I did.
Funny how that works.
We go to these beautiful places, and we come home with more than we started with.
Yeah.
Lisa, thank you so much for agreeing to come on tonight. We were so super excited. Lisa's been part of our community here, often in chat with us. So it's so wonderful to have you up here on screen with us, sharing your knowledge, because you do such an incredible different array of things as you connect into your spiritual gifts. So we're so grateful for you coming up and sharing that with us tonight.
Yes, I have the wheelbarrow full of all the goodies. But no, thank you, ladies. I really appreciate you letting me come on and have a bit of a chat. And It's been awesome. I've loved it.
It's been glorious. And you're not getting away so easily. We will have you back.
Oh, good.
I will,
Excellent.
I will hunt you down.
That'd be fantastic. And maybe we could talk
Wonderful.
about like animal communication or something
Yep.
next time. That'd be great.
Yep.
Yeah,
Because
that'd
you
be
do
cool.
that too.
I do.
You,
I do.
you sorted out a horsey that was traumatized.
Yes, I've had a few.
Well,
I've had a few. I've had a few lately, but yeah, predominantly is trauma. Animals that horses have been in my field. But yes, trauma seems to just have been the thing I fell into, and I've explored all of that world. But that's a conversation for another day.
It is
yeah.
indeed.
Well, we'll definitely need to get you back again because it's just
Sounds
very
good.
interesting. I think we've just touched the surface on it. And Shelley's saying thank you. That was very cool. Guys, if you're in chat and you haven't hit the like button yet, please give it a like. Show Lisa some love for getting on here tonight and sharing this great information with us. Just so interesting. And
Awesome.
Annie, do you have your cards there? Will we do a quick read for the collective? Oh, she's onto it.
Hand.
She's onto it.
Oh.
Oh, I have cards. I've got cards too, so let's go.
Oh, yeah. Jump in, please. Absolutely. Oh, my gosh. What's going on here? I've just had 4 jump out, so I'm going to have to go with that. Sorry. Who's ready? Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go.
Okay. So the first card that came out is Page of Cups. Now, this means that, some idea that you have is not really very grounded and you might need to get grounded. But what's really interesting is straight after that was wish fulfillment. So maybe you're being told that whatever it is that you want to manifest, whatever it is that you want to bring into existence is a crazy idea. But guess what? It's not. It's actually can come to fruition. And then the next card is saying it's actually going to be the start of a whole new journey. So hang on to whatever this is. If there's critics out there, don't listen to them, because it is going to happen. There is a wish fulfillment here, and it's going to start a complete new journey. The only barrier that you've got is get out of your own head, right? It's what's going on in your head. Will this work? Will this not work? Will this work? That's actually putting the blockage in place. So get out of your head, collective, right? Or you beautiful people, because this idea is going to be absolutely awesome and the start of a whole new journey. There you go.
Okay, I'll go next. And I've got cards from 2 different packs. So the first one, strangely enough, that fell out was creative expression. And that's what Lisa's little, her spirit drawing class is all about. It's about creative expression. The second one is guidance. And that's where the information comes from for our class. And the third one, this is sexuality, but it's also sacral chakra, which is all about excitement, enthusiasm, creativity. And on the back of Kerry's card, this card is also around straighten your crown, queen. It's very much around remember who you are as a woman. I find this interesting because I've done 5 readings this week for ladies whose kids finished school at the end of last year, and now they've got no kids at home anymore. Their kids have toddled off to university or they're working now, and all of a sudden there's no picking up kids, taking kids here, there, and everywhere. The whole kit and caboodle, and they're a wee bit lost. And this is very much about finding who you are and reclaiming that, because we do get lost. Lisa, my darling, what have you got for us?
Well, I just realised I haven't got my reading glasses on. So I
I've done that. Look, one of my previous runs in a quick hurry before the end of the intro was to get my correct glasses. So I'm with you.
I thought I put my I've only got my computer glasses, but I did get the snake, which I know that the extended message is much about both the cards that you guys had anyway. The message is basically the same. It's too, I know we say shedding old skin and that sort of thing, but it's also too about creating and birthing the new. But I wish I could actually read. I could actually, cast off the old. Renew your true. Reveal your true colors, talents, and gifts to the world. So that's, creativity there again. And the other one was animal guardians.
Mm-hmm.
And trust the powerful animal spirit within to learn more about yourself and your abilities. So creativity seems to go.
Yeah. And that beautifully
for you, Lisa, telling you
Sorry?
I think
That's
it's
awesome.
a message for you, telling you to get your animal course up and running.
Yeah, definitely.
You guys are just smacking you up the back of the head, women.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I've just had confirmation. Yeah. She's just coming, climbing all over the place. That was awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Really, really appreciate you coming on. Annie, it'll be end of next week, end of this week will be your reading for May. Can you believe that?
Yeah, maybe on Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, so that's and I've also just put out the Zodiac angel messages for this week. So they're out. So you can catch up on those as well.
Thank you, everybody, for being with us.
Mm-hmm.
It's been glorious. And we will see you in a couple of weeks. Have a wonderful week, everybody. Do your thing, Kerry Berry.
We'll see you soon. Thanks, Lisa. Good night, everyone.
And he whispers secrets in the night, mystical visions taking flight. Carrie's got that angel glow so bright, guiding through the dark to the light. Tarot cards spread on the cosmic rug, healing power in a gentle hug. Meditation's deep like an ancient grove, finding peace through the stars above. Mind, body, spirit, soul, we rise, angel feathers falling from the sky, psychic waves in a gentle tide. Let the universe be our guide. Sound healing echoes through the air, lifted hearts with a tender care. Spiritual journeys we embark, lighting flames within the dark. Messages from angels clear and true, whispering love in all we do. Psychic development strong and wise, open path